Hello guys, my name is Amit and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we install Minikube, which is a local cluster used for learning Kubernetes. Unlike the other cluster that we have seen in other video to install it by using two machines, here Minikube will be installed only on one single machine, and that's the reason it's not a real cluster. It's a cluster simulation. It doesn't even have two machines. It has only one machine, which is a master. Now, if you want to install Minikube on your machine, first you need to make sure Docker is running on your machine. I already have installed Docker, so I can directly start executing these commands in order to install Minikube. Let's follow these instructions. This is the macOS I'm using right now, which is ARM64 architecture on this machine. I'm going to install the binary version of it, simply copying both the commands and pasting them on my machine. It will take a couple of minutes because it is downloading that Minikube executable, and once it gets downloaded, it will get installed on my machine in this directory /osr/local/bin/minikube. It's asking me to enter the password. Okay, oops, wonderful, and it seems like it must have got installed. How do we check it? To check it, we can simply say Minikube version. So version will tell me what is the version of Minikube that is running. It seems like it is the latest version 1.34 at the time of recording, and probably you can start using this Minikube now. To do this, before I do anything, I just want to check what's the status of Minikube. It tells me the Minikube is not yet found. It seems like Minikube cluster has not yet created, which is all right, which is what we want to do right now. So to start creating a cluster, simply put the command Minikube and start. Essentially, it is going to download all the Docker images and will create a Docker container for you, which is what you can see here. Creating a Docker container with 2 CPUs and almost like 4 GB of memory. This is the requirement from Kubernetes. Kubernetes machine must have at least 2 CPUs and 4 GB of RAM. Wonderful. It seems like the Minikube cluster has been started. Let me check this quickly. I can say Minikube and status. Last time it said the cluster was not started. It seems like the cluster not only got installed, it is also running successfully. Now, how do I check it whether it is running or not? To do this, I can simply go back and use the command Minikube maybe I can say kubectl and get all. This command will tell me what all different objects which are running at this moment. There's only one service named Kubernetes, and this service is of clustered IP type and is started by Kubernetes. So this is not a custom, but this is the system's component. Okay, now every time you have to hit this command Minikube kubectl if you want to deal with this cluster. Isn't there any shortcut? Yes, there is. In macOS, whatever the command that you are using here, just copy it, open your .zshrc, which is there in your home directory, and simply head towards the last line of it and add this command alias kubectl equals to the command we just copied. Once you do this, you can reload all the settings from that zshrc by using the command source until the .zshrc. Once you do this, you no longer need to use Minikube kubectl. You can directly say kubectl get all, and this will be fine. So henceforth, we'll be using this command kubectl to perform all the operations here. Seems like everything is working fine. Probably I want to see like what is the IP assigned to that IP assigned to that Docker client. To do this, I can simply go back and say kubectl IP. This tells me the IP address assigned to my machine, which is a you can call it as a virtual machine. It's not a virtual machine, it's a Docker client, but for us, we consider this as a virtual machine, and this IP address is what we have to use later in order to connect to that machine. If I really want to go inside the machine, inside the cluster, I can use the command Minikube SSH, and this gives me the command prompt of that container which Minikube has created last time. This is a Linux container, so precisely I can perform all my Linux operations here, or I can perform all my Linux commands here. We will be using this command prompt to connect to any of the components running inside the cluster. So right now I can see everything is working fine in my machine.